Hi, I'm Leo Lustig from Nadlan Capital Group. We make your real estate dreams come true. New research from LendingTree reveals just how dramatically rents have climbed in the United States over the past 5 years. Fair market rents, the federal benchmark used to determine housing assistance levels, have risen sharply between 2021 and 2026, reflecting a rental market still struggling with post-pandemic inflation, migration surges, and long-standing housing shortages. Fair market rent represents the estimated median cost of modest housing, including utilities. Because these figures determine how much help low-income renters receive, rising FMRs directly affect affordability for millions of households. According to LendingTree, one-bedroom FMRs in the nation's 50 largest metros rose an average of 40.7%, or about $457, while two-bedroom units climbed 37.3%, averaging a $505 increase. For many renters, that's hundreds of extra dollars a month, money they simply don't have. As LendingTree's chief consumer finance analyst Matt Schulz explains, a few $100s more in rent each month can make a huge difference. Every major metro saw rents rise, but some cities experienced massive jumps. New York, San Diego, and Miami lead the nation in one-bedroom increases, each climbing more than $750. Two-bedroom units saw similar spikes, with Miami up $885, San Diego up $877, and New York up $857. These cities were already expensive, and the pandemic brought a surge of new residents, remote workers, retirees, and families seeking warmer climates, pushing demand far beyond supply. Even metros with smaller increases are feeling the pressure. San Francisco posted the smallest gains of any major market, with only about $50 added to both one- and two-bedroom FMRs. But despite the modest rise, San Francisco remains one of the most expensive rental markets in the country, with two-bedroom FMRs exceeding $3,600. Several metros in the South and Midwest, including Birmingham, Oklahoma City, San Antonio, and St. Louis, also recorded relatively smaller increases, but even these lower hikes between $264 and $326 still represent meaningful financial strain for renters with tight budgets. LendingTree points to three major reasons behind the steep rise in FMRs. First, the pandemic unleashed one of the fastest periods of rent inflation in modern history, as demand soared and available units couldn't keep pace. Second, a massive national reshuffling, with millions of renters relocating to new cities, intensified competition in areas that weren't prepared for the influx. And third, the country's long-term housing shortage, years in the making, has left supply too limited to absorb even modest increases in demand. The bottom line, renting has become significantly more expensive everywhere, not just in coastal cities. For millions of Americans, the rising fair market rent highlights a deepening affordability crisis that continues to challenge renters and policymakers alike. For direct financing consultations or mortgage options for you, visit Nadlan Capital Group.